I was considering moving to Panama because of the economic reasons, challenges with employment, and also the conditions with the government with Obamacare and the healthcare system, which was very expensive. It would have been approximately $423 a month for me for healthcare. So that was the straw that broke the camel's back. The health care that I have here in Panama was surprisingly good. I was very surprised I was able to find what I found. I have health care through a company called MS Panama, and they are affiliated with Cherokee Hospital and May Lewis Hospital in David. And it's a plan it's a 70-30 plan where I'm only responsible for paying 30% of any type of hospital bill. And that began, in fact, that was one of the first things that I did when I got here. And I've been happy with it so far. The cost is amazing. I pay $107.10 a month for my health care. I moved to an area called Alto Boquete, and it was really a trial and error type of situation. You just kind of have to ask people, about different areas and so forth, and word of mouth. And I was able to start in a very small, about 400 square feet or less, tiny apartment on a beautiful piece of land. And I was there for probably over a year, closer to 2 years. And it served all my needs. It was perfect. I was close to transportation since I don't have a car. That was a very important thing for me. And the environment was very, very safe for a single woman. Well, let's see. I'm not living too far from where I originally moved in. This is still the Alto Boquete area. My apartment now is probably 4 times as big for the same amount of money. I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment with very high ceilings, an outdoor type of a porch enclosed area, and I am paying $400 a month for rent. The views are fabulous. If you go on my porch and look out my windows, you will see Baru, all the landscaping, mountains, clouds, trees, landscape. It's really nice. I do have neighbors, so I'm not totally isolated. I've got a neighbor on my left, and I'm surrounded on the other sides by grassy fields where you'll see horses and bulls and cows and so forth. So it's a very quiet neighborhood, very peaceful. I feel very, very safe here. And it's probably about, I would say maybe about 5 miles from where I lived before. Well, I'll tell you how it worked out for me. When I originally decided it was time to move, I was just going to move over here by myself, 4 suitcases, cold turkey, so to speak. But I decided that wouldn't be wise for a single woman not really knowing the language. I don't speak any Spanish. I am in process now of learning the language. But I decided that it was just time, in terms of the economy, in terms of what was going on around me. And this was a perfect place for me after doing my research because of the safety concerns and the opportunity to have some peace and not have to worry about working. The things that I enjoy most in Panama would be the ability to be independent and safe. I don't even need a vehicle here, and I'm able to get around and do basically what I need to do, fulfill the necessities of life. I've developed some great friendships with a diverse number of people coming from different backgrounds and so forth. And basically it's the relationships for me. The connections, the divine connections you make with people are of high value to me. So you go to church, you have your church group. I have a ladies group that I play cards with every Saturday. And I'm basically flexible and I take each day at a time, and I can do whatever I want and plan my days accordingly. My average monthly expenses in Panama are probably close to about $500, which would include my rent, utilities, internet, I think that is about all inclusive. Now, my groceries, that's a separate thing because I can control that figure. But I would say close to $500. So for a single person, that's awesome. So that makes me another big fan of Panama because of the economy here and the fact that I can stretch my money. I definitely feel safe living in Panama, and I can say that emphatically because not having a vehicle, I walk a lot. My main modes of transportation are walking, taxis, and buses. And I travel, for example, to David maybe once or twice a month on the bus to get my hair done. So I do that by myself, and I have to walk a certain distance to get to the salon. So that's an adventure for me. From my house here now, since I'm a little further away from Boquete Central, I just walk out to the end of my road, hop on the bus, and pay 60 cents to go downtown. So I can walk all around town with no feeling of any fear, or I'm not threatened at all. I usually, being single and a lot of the time being by myself, I will make sure that I'm home by about 7 if I'm out walking, because I'm not going to walk in the dark for safety purposes. I can find, I would say, 95% of everything that I need here. And the good news is, since 2015, more items have been, imported, and they will show up in the stores. So, for example, there's a cleaner that I like to use called Barkeeper's Friend. When I first got here, couldn't find it. Now it's everywhere. That's just one of the little things. But sometimes the little things, if they're your favorites, they become big things. But that's one example. But most of all, I can find anything that I need. For clothing, for example, because I'm real persnickety when it comes to my outerwear, I'll take a trip to Panama City and go to one of the larger malls. But for the most part, most of the stores here can provide basically anything that you need, unless it's really super exotic or super special. But for the most part, there's not a problem locating the things that I need. My internet and cell phone services are very reasonable. Here, I don't use cable to get the local channels, since my Spanish isn't as good as I would like it to be. So I just have internet service, and that runs me $38 a month through Cable Onda, and I get YouTube and that type of thing on it, and Netflix and so forth. So that's fine for me. And my cell phone, I have a little Android cell phone, and the cost for that, I have WhatsApp on it, and of course the applications that I need. But that's $17.93 a month. So very reasonable. Makes me very happy. Moving to Panama has changed my life. Literally, in a physical way. My blood pressure is lower, I'm more relaxed, and I'm happier. I don't have the daily concerns of going to work every day, and the rat race and the traffic and all the day-to-day problems that we are forced to find solutions to in the United States. It's a very, very different lifestyle here. Basically, this is what I've been looking for all my life. So when I was 62 and made that decision it was time to cut ties, change the lifestyle and so forth, I do believe that it has added years, or will add years, to my life, just because of the lifestyle and the relaxed environment that I find myself in. My big suggestion would be not to do what I considered to do, which would be just come cold turkey on your own. Of course, unless you have contacts here and know people and speak the language, that's a different thing. But if you are a typical American like myself, and you don't know a lot of Spanish, and especially if you're alone, I would suggest that you go on Jackie's tour, because that's going to be your information focal point. You're going to find basically everything you need to know about moving here. You can get all your questions answered. You won't have any fear once you decide to pack your bags and make the move. And that's why I'm very thankful that I did that, because when I came here with confidence, and I didn't have any concerns about what was going to happen next. Things just progressed because of the information that I received on that tour.